welcome back, guys, to DeFi, Degens, Drip and Farm for Poverty, where our mission is to empower the impoverished and help you find financial freedom through crypto assets. If you like that mission, you resonate with that vision, smash that subscribe button so you don't miss another video, and you will hit the notification bell as well so you can be sure when we drop a new one. So far, I've been doing these every single day, and this is just one I compiled from my lessons learned in crypto, because man, this can be one hell of a bumpy road. And while it does have a lot of perks, and I do believe it to be the future, one of my mentors says that we will never unwind technology. So if you believe that everything continues to improve and we never go backwards, so meaning we never had to reinvent the wheel. Once the internet came, we stopped using phone books. Once we had cell phones and people's numbers stored, we stopped actually writing them down and saving them anywhere and use names. So everything has advanced. So if you believe that it will continue to build on itself, then you have to accept the thesis that this is here to stay. Web3, the crypto space. What coins will win, how it will play out, doesn't matter. The fact of the foundational layer of a blockchain and a transparent ledger to some degree, be it centralized or decentralized, that fundamental shift of our technology layer will be here permanently in some form or fashion, right? So if you agree with technology never going backwards. So that being said, you have to kind of develop an understanding and a willingness to take hits up on the head as you go through this, because it's developing at such a rapid pace. You can't have all the answers, and you have to be willing to fall down so that you can actually get back up and move further, farther, faster. If you watch the Super Bowl, they had the FTX commercial where they said, "Don't be like Larry," and it was basically a guy that kept making statements about these things will never catch on. And if you don't think this will catch on, or don't think this will actually be a thing that will be here to stay, then you're gonna get left in the dust. So long story short, these are the lessons that I learned on my crypto journey. I'm still learning. Number one, don't ape in or FOMO. This one is probably the most important, because when I got started, man, every single project looked like a good one. And I would hear some YouTuber like myself now saying, "Yo, try this project out," not financial advice. Take a look at this, blah, 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 blah. And I would do like 5 minutes of research, go, "Yeah, fuck it, YOLO, I'm in." and just start sending money in left and right different places. And I was like, "Oh, it's only a little bit, doesn't matter, a little bit doesn't matter." And on the one hand, you can have that shotgun approach if you have risk capital. So say you have $100 a month that you can gamble, and you're throwing $5 at random projects to see which one sticks. And that's just a fun way to do it. That's no different than going to the casino and throwing $5 on, black 18 for roulette or some shit, right? So if that's your strategy, cool, that's fine. But I recommend doing a little more research, because it will pay off in the long run. So meaning, take a look into the projects, look at the developers, see what information you can pull up, go to the white paper, check their Telegram groups, check their Discords, check what people are saying on Twitter. In the crypto space, Twitter, Reddit, YouTube are going to be your best friends in regards to how the temperature is on a project. So if everyone is shouting from the rooftops, it's good, it's legit, buy in, then take a look and take a decision for yourself if that's okay. If you have a bunch of people with FUD and telling you these developers came from another project and they scammed and rug pulled, then maybe you should listen to that. So take that with a grain of salt, but don't just dive in like I did. Lessons learned, right? Number two is don't diversify. So you've heard everybody say, or you may have heard that in financial sectors, you should diversify your portfolio, meaning you shouldn't put all your eggs in one basket because you don't know what's going to stick. Well, there is such a thing as diversifying, meaning you spread everything so far, so thin, that you have no ability to make money or capitalize on any development in any space, because you have just like a little bit in every single area. So what I would recommend is actually finding an area to focus on. So crypto is huge. They're basically taking every traditional market and industry that we're familiar with and bring it into the crypto space. So if you're a gamer, go look into gaming tokens and things of that nature. If you are from the traditional market and you like ICOs, IPOs, initial DEX offerings, initial public offerings, so new coin listings, then go into that. If you're into DeFi and you're looking for just putting your money into a place where you can loan it out and get interest on your capital, or liquidity pool asset allocations, look into that. So find an area that you can focus on. So that automatically hones you in. Maybe if you want to diversify, you can do like 1 to 3, but they're so huge that I would say 1 is enough, because once you go into 1, so let's just say you go into gaming, you can now look at different games on one blockchain, or you can look at games on different blockchains. So you have games on Polygon, you have games on Binance, you have games on Solana. So all these other blockchains will have games on them, and you'll decide, even on ETH there's games. So you can decide what you're gonna do with the gaming side, and then you can diversify into different games on different blockchains, different types of games or whatever, right? So don't diversify and just go into so many different things that you can't keep track. That was my problem. I had to make a spreadsheet. I probably got shit in places that I've already forgot about, that just stopped generating yield, or I found the next exciting thing and I just jumped into that one and forgot about this one. So don't do that. Lessons learned. Number 3, have a plan. So this is super important. So after you have gone in, this is kind of what builds on number 2. After you've decided, all right, I'm going to look into gaming, or I'm going to go with DeFi because this is drip. So let's say I'm going into DeFi. There are so many DeFi platforms that pop up on a left and right basis literally every day. So you need to have a plan. And from that plan, you need to decide what you're going to do with that particular allocation within that industry, right? So if you're going into DeFi, like I said, make sure you have an outcome before you get started. So if we're gonna use drip, so my goal was to have basically 100 drip by the end of the year, and then start to withdraw after that. So that means until I get to 100 drip, I'm just gonna compound. Same thing with plants. Until I get to 100 plants, I'm just gonna compound. So that means I'm willing to lose everything if the project goes to shit before then I'm willing to lose it all if that be the case. But you can also have a different plan where some people literally will go in and they'll say, all right, for 1 week, I'm going to hydrate, like in drip, or compound the seeds, like in the drip garden. And then the next week, I'm going to withdraw or claim, or every other day, so that you can get your capital out as soon as possible. Highly recommend taking profits. No one ever got poor from taking profits. So have a plan and then stick to that. Oh, number 4 is missing. Oh, I'm missing number 4. Sorry, guys. Number 4 is stick to that plan in that budget. So once you have that plan, stick to it. Do not FOMO, panic sell, go find the next shiny object. Stick to the plan you put. So if it was to have 100 fucking plants, wait until you have 100 plants. And then don't add any more capital if your plan wasn't to add any more capital. If your plan was to dollar cost average in, then stick to that $5 a week, $1 a day, whatever the hell that is, and stick to it. Do not deviate. No matter how shiny the object may look somewhere else, the whole purpose of having a plan is to mitigate losses and maximize your profits. Yes, things may turn. So if they take a turn for the worse, your plan will save you from the worst case scenario. So if your plan was to go in with the 100 plants and the project tanked at 60, then cool, you're out and you didn't lose anything. But if at 60 you decide to start adding more because you see it's trending or something like that, and then the project tanks at 99, now you're fucked. So just stick with the plan and don't worry about how much you could have had if you would have done more in the long run. Stick to the plan, have the strategy, and don't deviate from it. So that's where the don't panic sell comes in. So that's number 4, but it's missing from my slides. Apologies. Number 5, determine your risk strategy. So within this sector, so we've minimized all the way down to DeFi, and now we're going to be doing some of the nodes, strong nodes, vapor nodes, or drip garden, animal farm. So we're in that. From that eco space, you now need to determine the amount you want to diversify or allocate into each area. So I'll explain. In certain parts of DeFi, there are more risky plays than others and more safer investments. So in DeFi, you could go into staking on the Anchor protocol by putting UST into the staking pool. UST is a stable coin, and they give you 19% yield on your investment. That is very low risk because there is tons of liquidity in UST. The platform has been audited. There have not been any hacks or anything like that. It's still minimal risk because it's not FDIC insured. Nobody's gonna come back and give you your money. There is insurance you can buy on it, but it's still DeFi, so there's still like a low risk. So on a scale of 1 to 100, it would be like maybe a 10 out of risk. And if you add insurance, it's probably like a 1. So that can be like your low risk, and you're gonna say, I'm gonna take 60% of my risk portfolio or my budget or whatever. So if I had $100 a month and I'm willing to gamble, this is my gambling money. 60 of that I would put maybe into a stable platform like I just mentioned, UST Anchor protocol, or even loaning out money on other platforms like KuCoin inside of a DEX. So your money's fixed there. You're still at risk to the exchange being hacked and stuff like that, yes, but no different than your bank account getting hacked or whatever. So there's still always a risk, but that one's the least risky. So you can say, all right, least risky, 60%. Medium risk, you want to do 30%. So now you move into something else. Maybe your 30% risk is the drip faucet, for example. The contract has been audited, and you do have a guaranteed return of your investment of 1% every day based on the price of the token. So you don't know what the token's going to do. So it's medium risk because there are some guaranteed payouts, but the token could go to shit. So you have 30% of a 1 cent token, doesn't mean anything. But you could say, all right, I'm gonna do 30% in that area. Then next, you have your remaining 10%. These are just examples. You guys can pick whatever you want. But this is the strategy, like 60, 30, 10. 10 goes to the high risk. It goes to the YOLO, shit coins, whatever the case may be. So maybe somewhere in your DeFi strategy, you're looking at the next Shiba Inu or Dogecoin. Sorry, you guys, if you're, shilling those. Or you go into CoinGecko and look at the newest coins that have just launched. Nothing about them, but you're going to throw $10 at it. That can be your 10%. Or if you're still on the Animal Farm Forex arena, maybe your 10% is going into the drip garden, because that is a high risk, high utility platform. So that's just an example, 60, 30, 10, low, medium, high. So you got to do your research to understand what low, medium, and high mean for you. Next up, crypto security. So this is my last and most important. By all means, you need to have some form of security. So if you're using MetaMask, which the bulk of people are to interact with these contracts, MetaMask is just a browser on Chrome. And I would highly recommend getting away from Chrome and actually using the Brave browser, because at least with Brave, you don't get a bunch of ads. There have already been hacks where people are taking Google ads and changing the name. So let's just take Drip, for example, Drip Community. They could change the I in Drip to a 1 or to a lowercase l, where it looks like the same place, and they run an ad to that spot. So you just type in Drip Community in your Google search. The first response that pops up is an ad. You don't pay attention. You click on it. It looks exactly like the site you're familiar with, and you interact with it, and now they start phishing or telling you to reset your wallet or whatever, and boom, they steal all your funds out of your wallet. They can't get into the contract, but they can definitely get access to your wallet. So I would recommend first crypto security advice is get off of fucking Chrome. There's no security on Chrome. And then go to Brave, which at least filters out ads, and you can actually get paid for browsing, very minimal. And then number 2 is protect your seed phrase. So if you're using MetaMask, I would highly suggest getting a hardware wallet. I went ahead and got Nano S. I have 3 of these actually. So if you want to be super secure, you actually will layer these so that one wallet interacts with contracts. Say for example, like the exploit on OpenSea, perfect example. That one interacts with contracts. And then from that wallet, you will send your NFT or something else to another wallet. That other wallet never, ever, 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 ever touches the internet. You never connect it directly to any contracts. It's only used as a mediary or a finishing location to send things to. And then you could also have like a DeFi wallet, for example, where you could just be going in on random projects. But you would always use these external wallets, like I said, I have 2, to interact with different contracts, then you have another one at the bottom where you're sending the crypto to. And if that one never, ever, ever touches the web, then you don't have anything to worry about, because you can still send from that bottom ledger wallet directly to an exchange. But you would never send anything from the exchange to that wallet, for example. You would always send it to the medium wallet in the middle. That's like super, super secure if you're paranoid and shit like that. I do not do mine that way. That's just giving you guys an example of what you could do. I just have two for different funds, and there's a third one that I have that I forgot to open up and use. But anyway, I would recommend getting a hardware wallet because, again, MetaMask is just a browser plugin. That is just fucking insane that you are storing your financial freedom in a browser plugin. Think about that. Lastly, ensure that your laptop or whatever is up to date with the latest malware. I did have one scare on my computer where I actually downloaded a bug. It was called Trojan Clipper, I think. My malware picked it up immediately, so nothing ever happened. But I went and looked it up, and what Malware Clipper is it actually takes your clipboard and will change the address. So many of you, just like myself, probably copy and paste your wallet address, right? So you're gonna send funds somewhere. You're going from your centralized exchange to your MetaMask. You copy paste that. Well, what the Trojan Clipper did or does, it didn't happen to me. I saw the virus and it removed it. It will actually change your clipboard. So when you hit Control V, you're just copy paste. It's actually changing it to whatever the hacker put into that malware. So you will be sending it to their wallet. And obviously a safety measure is to always check the address when you paste it, check the first four and the last four, and you'll know that that's the right address. You can just memorize those and always know, but that's just one thing to keep in mind. So that will not protect you even if you have hardware wallets, because you can't stop the malware on the device from going somewhere else, or someone hacking your computer and then combing through your credentials and logins. And if you have your seed phrase stored on your computer, they could find that. Some people that have had screenshots on their phones, they've hacked their like iCloud and found their picture and then got their seed phrase. So do not store your seed phrase on any digital device anywhere. Best, if you can, memorize it, but I would definitely recommend like putting it on something solid and locking it away in a safety deposit box somewhere that you will remember, you know, in the long run. So anyway, hope you guys found that helpful. That's just my 6 tips, my lessons learned in my short stint in the catacombs of the DeFi Web3 crypto space. If you found that helpful, drop a comment, like, subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Until then, lift daily and achieve your impossible. See you guys.